Welcome to CSAT session. The question is the difference between a two-digit number and the number obtained by interchanging the positions of the digit is 54. Okay. The difference between a two-digit number and the number obtained by interchanging the positions of the digits is 54. Similar question, we have practiced a similar kind of questions in the last session, right? Okay. So a two-digit number, let the digits be x and y. Okay, if the digits are x and y, then the number can be written as 10x plus y, because y is at the unit place and x is at 10th place. Hence, the digits x and y can be represented as 10x plus y. So the number will be 10x plus y. Clear? Okay. So the difference between a two-digit number and the number obtained by interchanging the positions. Okay, so interchanging the positions of the digits will be y, x. So the number can be written as y, 10y plus x. Clear? So the number in normal, generally the number is 10x plus y. While interchanging the digits, it will become 10y plus x, right? So the question says the difference between a two-digit number and the number obtained by interchanging the positions of the digits is 54. Clear? So the difference between 10x plus y and 10y plus x is equal to 54. Clear? Fine. So let us expand the equation. 10x plus y minus 10y minus x is equal to 54. Clear? 10x minus x is 9x. Y minus 10y is 9y is equal to 54. Okay, so let's take 9 common. 9 into x minus y is equal to 54. Okay, now let's come back to the question. Consider the following statement. Okay, the sum of the two digits of the number can be determined only if the product of the two digits is known. Okay, it says that the sum of the two digit means x and y. So we have to find the x and y. Okay, the sum of the two digits of the number, sum of x and y can be determined only if the product of the two digits is known. Okay, the equation is 9 into x minus y is equal to 54. That is x minus y is equal to 54 divided by 9, which is equal to 6. So x minus y is equal to 6. We know that if x minus y is equal to 6, then x and y can have the value of x is equal to 7, y is equal to 1. Clear? X is equal to 8, y is equal to 2. X is equal to 9, y is equal to 3. X is equal to 6, y is equal to 0. Clear? 7 minus 1, 6, 8 minus 2, 6, 9 minus 3, 6, 6 minus 0 is 6. So x and y can have the 4 different pair of values. Clear? So then the sum of the two digits of the number, which means the sum of x and y, can be determined only if the product of the two digits is known. Okay, so let's find the values of x plus y. Okay, in the first case, x plus y can have the get the value. 7 plus 1 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10, 9 plus 3 is 12, 6 plus 0 is 6. So these are the sum of the possible values of x and y. X plus y can have the values of 8, 10, 12, 6. So we have to choose x plus y value for x plus y. It says that the sum of the two digits of the number, can be determined, whether it is 8 or 10, 12, 6 can be determined only if the product of the two digits is known. Okay, so let's find the xy. Xy for first case, 7 into 1 is 7, second case 8 into 2 16, third 9, 3 27, last one 0 into 6 into 0 is 0. So these are the products of x and y, and the respective summation of x plus y are 8, 10, 12, 6. Xy is 7, 16, 27 and 0. They say that these x plus y can be determined only if we know the value of x into y or xy. Is it correct? What if we calculate the value of x by y? So in first case, 7 by 1 is 7, clear. 8 by 2 is 4, 9 by 3 is 3, 6 by 0 is not possible, clear. Okay, so if we know the values of x by y, we can select the x plus value of x plus y. So the statement says, in an extreme statement, it says that the sum of the two digits of the number can be obtained only if the product of the two digits is known. No, the sum x plus y can be determined even if we know the fraction of x and y. Or if we know any of the digits, we can find the value of x plus y. So that statement is incorrect, because we can determine the value of x plus y even if we know the value of x by y. That is a fraction of x and y. So the first statement is incorrect. Clear? Okay. So let's look at the second statement. Second statement says the difference between the two digits of the number can be determined, which means the difference between x and y, x minus y, can be determined. Yes, possible, because x minus here 9 into x minus y is 54. So x minus y is equal to 54 divided by 9, which is 6. So the difference between the two digits can be determined. Yes, possible, x minus y is equal to 6. Clear? So first statement is incorrect and second statement is correct. Option B is the right answer. B, 2 only is the right answer. Clear? Okay. Next question. When a certain number is multiplied by 7, the product entirely comprises ones only. That means 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, etc. What is the smallest such number? Okay, so a number is multiplied with 7 and the product comprises only ones. Clear? So, okay, so if you analyze the options, all the option ends with 3, which means 7 times 3 is 21 and the unit place is 1. So all the 4 numbers, there is a possibility that all the 4 numbers can be an answer, because all the numbers contain 3 at the unit place. Clear? So nothing to do, simply first multiplication will give us answer. Clear? So let's multiply it first. 7 5 7 1 3 into 7, 7 3 21, 1 2 1 2 1 7 plus 2 9. So this is not possible. Next one, 1 5 7 2 3 into 7, 1 2 6, not possible. Clear? Next, 1 5 7 8 3 into 7, 1 2 8. This is also not possible. So the answer will be definitely option C. Option D. However, let's check. 1 5 8 7 3 into 7, 7 3 21 1 2 49 2 51 1 5 56 61 1 6. Seven 5 35 1 4. So the answer will be 1 5 8 7 3. So the option D is the correct answer. Clear? So the result contains only 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 is the product of the of 1 5 8 7 3 and 7. Clear? Moving to next question. Simple question here. Next question. Consider the following statements. The sum of 5 consecutive integers can be 100. The sum of 5 consecutive integers can be 100. Second statement, the product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. Okay, which of the above statement is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Clear? So let's check. The first one, the sum of 5 consecutive integers can be 100. Let's check. Let the first number be x. Since the numbers are consecutive, they will be divided by 1. So the numbers will be x, x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 4. Finish. So x, x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3 and x plus 4. So these are the 5 consecutive integers. And they say the sum of these numbers can be 100. Okay, let's check. X plus 1 plus, x plus 2 plus, x plus 3 plus, x plus 4 is equal to 100. So 5x plus 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10 is equal to 100. 5x is equal to 100 minus 10 is 90. X is equal to 90 by 5, which is equal to 60. sorry, 18. So the number will be, the value of x is 18, so the numbers will be 18, 90, 20, 21, 22. Let's check whether the sum of these numbers are 100, 20, 20, 20, 60, 63. 63 plus 10, 73, 83. 83 plus 8, 91. 91 plus 9, 100. So yes, the sum of these 5 numbers is 100. So first statement is correct. Second one. Second statement. The product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. If the product of 3 consecutive number is equal to their sum, then the numbers will be small numbers, which means within the range of 10, right? So we know that 1, 2, 3. The product of these numbers is product of 1, 2 and 3. 1 into 2, 2 into 3 is 6. The sum of these 3 numbers, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 1 is 6. Yes, the product of these 3 numbers is equal to their sum, which is the value 6. So yes, possible. Second statement is correct. Both 1 and 2 are the right answer. Simple question. Next question. Okay, this question is actually asked in the year 2021 prelims. The question says 3p plus 4p plus pp plus pp is equal to rq2, where pq and r are different digits. Okay, pq r hold different values. The question is, what is the arithmetic mean of all such possible sums? Okay, all such possible sums. Okay, let's check. 3p plus 4p plus pp plus pp is equal to rq2. Okay, clear? P is added with p, further p, further p. So p is added 4 times. Clear? So let's put different values here. If 1 is put here, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 4, but here the answer is 2. Okay, 1 is not possible. 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, but it is 2. 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 3 is 12. Yes, possible. So one value is 3. 4, let's put the value 4. 4 plus 4, 8. 8 plus 8, 16. No possible. 5 is not possible. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 plus 12, 24 is not possible. 7 into 4, 28. Here it is 2. 8 into 4 is 32. Yes, 32. The unit place is 2. So the another value of p will be 8. So the value of p, let's check 8, 9. 9 4 is 36. No, it's not possible. Okay, n. So 3 and 8 are the two values of p. Clear? Hence the numbers can be 33, 43, 33, 33 and 38, 48, 88, 88. Okay. So the arithmetic mean of all such possible sums. So let's find the sum of the two pairs, two sequence, right? 3 plus 3, 6, here it is always 12. Remainder 1, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 3, 11, 11 plus 3, 14. Remainder 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 8, 18, 18 plus 8, 26. So the numbers are, the sums are 142 and 268. Now let's find the arithmetic mean, that means average of these two numbers. See, 262 plus 142, 2 plus 2, 4, 6 plus 4, 10, 0, 1, 2 plus 2, 4. The mean of 404 is 402, 4 divided by 2, the answer is 202. Yes, here it is, here the answer, option C is the correct answer, answer is 202. Clear? Okay. Next question, similar kind of question. This also asked in the year 2021. Consider the following multiplication problem. Consider the following multiplication problem. PQ into 3 is equal to RQQ. So PQ into 3 is equal to RQQ. Clear? Okay. A number is multiplied with 3 and the unit place is the number itself. What can be its value? let's put different values here. If it is 1, 1, 3 is 3, no, not possible. If it is 2, 2 into 3 is 6, not possible. If it is 3, 3, 3, 9, not possible. If it is 4, 4, 3, 12, not possible. If it is 5, yes, possible. 5, 3 is 15, 5 is possible. So, P 5 into 3 is equal to 5 into 3, 15, 5, remainder 1. Here, the 10th place also contain the digit 5. So, if the 10th place is to be 5, then the value P will be, because P is multiplied with the 3, added 1, and the unit place is, and the unit place of this product, if P into 3 product is 5, clear. So, the number might be 8, because 8, 3 is 24, 24 plus 1 is 25, 5, remainder 2. Remainder 2, that automatically comes here, clear, because it's a 2-digit number. So, 5, 3 is 15, 5, remainder 1, 8, 3, 24 plus 1, 25. So, the number is 85. 85 into 3 is equal to 255, clear. So, the value of P is 8, the value of Q is 5, value of R is 2. Okay, now the question is, what is the value of P plus R by Q? So, the value of P is 8, value of Q is 5, value of R is 2. We have to find the value of P plus R by Q, clear. So, P is 8, 8 plus 2 divided by 5. Yes, 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 divided by 5, that is the value is 2. So, the answer is option B, clear. P has a value 8, Q has a value of 5, R has a value of 2. So, P plus R, 8 plus 2 is 10 divided by Q is equal to 5, 10 by 5 is equal to 2, clear, simple question. Next, if ABC is equal to DEED, if ABC into DEED is equal to ABC, where A, B, C, D and E are different digits, what are the values of D and E? It's a bit difficult question, I would say. The question says ABC into DEED is equal to ABC. So, a number is multiplied with another number, and the product has some kind of features, because the first digit is repeated in a particular fashion. ABC is repeated, ABC. So, this number must have some kind of speciality, or it could be a unique feature or unique property of a number. Listen, if a number is multiplied with, for example, if a 3-digit number is multiplied with 1001, then the value will be ABC. Keep it in mind. If a number is if a 3-digit number is multiplied with 1001, then the value will be, product will be the repetition of digit. For example, ABC is multiplied with 1001, the answer will be ABC. So, similarly, for example, if 15 is multiplied with 101, if 15 is multiplied with 101, then the product will be 15. If 15 is multiplied with, let's check, 101 into 15, 5, 0, 5, 1, 1. Fifteen, clear? So, when a number is multiplied with 101 and the number is repeated 1515. Similarly, a 3-digit number, a number is multiplied with 1001. A 3-digit number is multiplied with 1001, then the digit will be ABC, ABC. If the three-digit number is ABC. Okay. If the property is followed here, then DEED must have the value of 1001. Clear? So the value of D is 1, value of E is 0. Value of 1 is value of D is 1, value of E is 0. So D is equal to 1, E is equal to 0. Option C is the correct answer. Clear? Okay. Moving to next question. A cow costs more than 4 goats but less than 5 goats. Okay. So the value of cow. A cow costs more than 4 goats. More than 4 goats but less than, more than 4 goats but less than 5 goats. Clear? If a goat costs between rupees 600 and 800, okay. If a goat costs between 600 and 800, so 4 times 600 to 800, because a goat costs between 600 and 800, so 4 goats value will be 4 times 600 to 800, the range. So 5 into 600 to 800. So bracket open. The range, the cost of 4 goats will be in the range 2 400 and 3 200. Value of cow 5 into 6 is 3000 to 4000. Clear? So the value of the cost of a cow ranges from 400 to 3200 and 3000 to 4000. The cost of cow ranges in between these two ranges. Clear? Now the question is, the options are, which of the following is a most valid conclusion? Which of the following is a most valid conclusion? A cow costs more than 2500. A cow costs more than 2500. Okay. A cow costs more than 2500. Can it be? The question is most valid one. What if the value of the cost of 4 goats can be up to the range of 3200? Clear? It can be up to the range of 2400, but it says that a cow cost more than 2500. Can it definitely say that the cost of a cow is more than 2400? What if the value of 4 goats is 2400 and the cost of a cow is 2450? Because they say that the value of the cost of a cow is more than the cost of 4 goats. What if the cost of 4 goats is 2400? Because the cost of 4 goats ranges from 2400 to 3200. Clear? Okay. If the cost of 4 goats be 2400 and the cost of 2450, is there any wrong? No. Then how can we say that the cow costs more than 2500? No. So it cannot be a valid one. It can be wrong and it can be true. Clear? Okay. A cow costs less than 3600. Okay. A cow costs less than 3600. Let us assume that if the cost of 5 goats be 4000, yes, it is possible because it is a extreme range. 4000 is the maximum range. What if the value of 5 goats be 4000 and the value of the cost of a cow is 3800? Is it possible? Yes, possible. But they say that a cow costs less than 3600. Here the cost of 5 goats is 4000 and we are assuming that the cost of cow is for 3800. The rule is not violated. But they definitely say that a cow costs less than 3600. So it can also be false. Next one. A cow costs between rupees 2600 and 3800. Okay. So we say that the cost of a cow cannot be 3900 and it cannot be 2500. It ranges between 2600 and 3800. So it is also not correct because it can be 2500 because it ranges between if the cost of 4 goats is 2400 and if the cost of a cow is 2450, yes, it is possible. But they say that it ranges between 2600 and 3800 and it is also false. Last one, a cow costs between 2400 and 4000. Yes, it is possible. The cost ranges between 2400 and 4000. It is possible. It can have any value. Can have any value between 2400 and 4000. So it is a valid assumption and the option D is the correct answer. Clear? Okay. In a box of marbles, there are 3 less white marbles than the red ones and 5 more white marbles than the green ones. If there are total 10 white marbles, how many marbles are there in the box? Okay, fine. So the question says there are 3 different colors of marbles: white marble, red marble and green marble. Clear? Okay. And the question says the number of white marbles is 3 less than the red marbles. Okay. Let us take this as equation number 1. And they also say the number of white marbles is 5 more than the green one, taking this at equation number 2. Also they say if there are a total of 10 white marbles, so the number of white marbles is 10. Okay. So equation 1 can be r minus 3 is equal to 10. R is equal to 10 plus 3, that is 13. So the number of red marbles will be 13. Equation number 2 becomes green is equal to W minus 5. The W is 10, 10 minus 5, the value is 5. Okay. So the number of red marbles are 13, number of green marbles are 5, number of white marbles already said it is 10. So the total number is 10 plus 13 plus 5, that is the answer is 28. So there are total 28 marbles are there. Clear? Simple question. Okay. Moving to next one. In aid of charity, every student in a class contribute as many as rupees as the number of students in that class. With the additional contribution of rupees 2 by one student only, the total collection is 443 rupees. Then, how many students are there in the class? Simple question. Okay. The question says, in a class, they collect rupees for purpose of charity. Let the number of students be X. Let the number of students be X. And the question says, they contribute as many rupees as the number of students in that class. Okay. So, there are X students and they collect X rupee. So, the total will be, each person contribute X rupee and the total will be X into X. Okay. X into X, that is X square. Okay. With the additional contribution of 2 rupees by one student only, one student contribute additional 2 rupees, then the contribution becomes 443 rupees. Clear? So, then equation becomes 443 plus 2 moves to the right side of equal sign. So, 443 minus 2, x square is equal to 441. So, x is equal to root of 441, it is 21. Can be plus 21 or minus 21. Here, the question deals with the number of students. So, it cannot be minus 21. It is plus 21. So, the value of x is 21. How many students are there in the class? There are 21 students in the class. Clear? Okay. Next question. In a class, there are 18 very tall boys. In a class, there are 18 very tall boys. If these constitute 3/4 of the boys and the total number of boys is 2/3 of the total number of students in the class, what is the number of girls in the class? It's also a very simple question. Okay. In a class, there are 18 tall boys. There are 18 tall boys. These constitute 3/4 of the boys. Okay. So, 3/4 of the boys is equal to 18. So, the total boys is equal to 18 into multiply with 4 divide by 3. Okay. So, 6 4 is 24. So, total there are 24 boys in the class. Then they say total number of boys is 2/3 of the total number of students. Okay. So, 24 is equal to what they say 2/3 of the total students. 2/3 of total students. Hence, total number of students is equal to multiply with 3 divide with 2. So, 24 into 3 divided by 2, 12. 12 times 3 is 36. Total number of students is 36. But the question say what the number of girls in the class. Okay, we know that there are 24 boys and total there are 36 students. So, the number of girls will be is equal to total there are 36 students, there are 24 boys. So, subtracting 12, the answer is option B. So, there are 12 girls are in the class. Clear? Okay. Next question. A boy plays with a ball and he drops it from a height of 1.5 meter. Every time the ball hits the ground, it bounces back to attain a height of 4/5 of the previous height. The ball does not bounce further if the previous height is less than 50 centimeter. What is the number of times the ball hits the ground before the ball stops bouncing? The question seems to be a bit difficult, but actually the statement may confuse us. So that's what that's why we feel the question is a bit difficult, but it is a medium range question. Okay, so a boy drops a ball from a height of 1.5 meter, which is 150 centimeter, right? So he drops the ball and it bounces back. It bounced back to attain a height of 4/5 of the previous height. Okay, 4/5 of the previous height. The ball further goes down and this process continue, but the ball does not bounce further if the previous height is 50 centimeter, is less than 50 centimeter. What is the number of times the ball hits the ground before the ball stops bouncing? Okay, let's check. Okay, suppose the ball drops from here and it goes down, bounce back, goes here. It drops from 150 meter. Why I converted into why I converted into centimeter? Because the question says it will not bounce back if the previous height is less than 50 centimeter. So for that I converted 1.5 meter into 150 centimeter. Okay. After the first bounce, it attained a height of 4/5 of 150 and it is 120 centimeter. Clear? 120 centimeter, it is not less than 50 centimeter, so it will further bounce back and attain a height of 4/5 of 120. 4 by 5th of 120. 4 by 5th of 120 is 96. It attained a height of 96. It is less than, sorry, not less than 50. So it will further goes down, attain a height of 4 by 5 of 96, and it is around 76.8. It is not less than 50. So it is going down, bounce back, attain a height of 4 by 5 of 76.8 and is equal to 61.4, which is also not less than 50, goes down, attain a height of 4 by 5 of 61.4 and it is 49.15. It will further goes down, but it will not bounce back. It will not bounce back. So it will go down because it will, but it will not bounce back because the previous height is less than 50, 49.15, which is less than 50. So it will not. So the ball does not bounce further if the previous height is less than 50. Yes, the previous height is less than 50. So it will not bounce. It will not bounce back. It will settle here. It will drop here. Clear? So the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The question says, what is the number of times the ball hits the ground? Number of times ball hits the ground is 6 times. Clear? So the answer is option C, 6. Next question. In a question paper, there are 5 questions to be attempted and answer to each question has 2 choices, true or false. Okay. It is given that no 2 candidates have given the answers to the 5 questions in an identical sequence. So after conducting exam, while evaluating the answers, they say they found that no 2 students have given the answers. That means there are 5 questions. Clear? Each question have 2 options, true or false, 2 options. After analyzing the paper, their answer paper, they found that no 2 candidates have given the answers to the 5 questions in an identical sequence. Okay, good. For this to happen, the maximum number of candidates is, see, simple idea, 5 questions are there. Okay, 5 questions. Each question can have 2 options, 2 answers, either true or false. So the maximum number of students required so that no 2 students have given the answers in the 5 questions to the 5 questions in an identical manner is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that is 2 to the power of 5, which is equal to 32. The answer D is the right answer. Clear? Okay. Next question. In an objective type test of 90 questions, this question asked in the year 2021. In an objective type test of 90 questions, 5 marks are allotted for every correct answer and 2 marks are deducted for every wrong answer. Okay, for every right answer, 5 marks is allotted. For every wrong answer, 2 marks is deducted. Okay. After attempting all the 90 questions, a student got a total 387 marks. So total there are there are 90 questions. 90 questions. The student attempted all the 90 questions. Okay, but she got only 387 marks. Okay, fine. What if a question an answer goes wrong? It will pay minus 7 marks. Clear? Because actually the student attempted all the 90 questions. If a question got wrong, then the 5 marks of that particular question is already gone. Along with that, a minus 2 will be awarded for the wrong answer. So in effect, when a question goes wrong, Actually, how many mark cost? 7 mark cost. Clear? So, minus 7 marks carry for each wrong answer. Clear? Okay. So, each wrong answer, a 7 marks will be deducted or cost. So, the student attempted all the 90 questions. So, total marks in the paper is 90 into 5, that is 450. Current actual mark is 387. So the difference is 450 minus 387, which is equal to 63. Correct? So the student lost 63 mark by attempting wrong answers, or by marking wrong answer. And each wrong answer carry minus 7 mark. Clear? Minus 7 mark from the total 450 mark. So she lost, or the student lost marks of 63 mark. The question is, what is the number of incorrect responses? The mark lost through marking the incorrect answer is 63, and each incorrect answer cost marks 7. Clear? So the number of incorrect attempts are 63. Each incorrect answer cost 7. 63 by 7 is 9. So the answer is option A, 9. So the number of incorrect attempts are 9. Clear? Okay. Simple question. Next question. Half of the villagers of a certain village have their own houses. Half of the villagers of a certain village have their own houses. 1/5 of the villagers cultivate paddy. 1/3 of the villagers are literate. 4/5 of the villagers are under 25 years of age. Which one of the following statement is certainly correct? Before going to the statement, let's first draw a diagram. Clear? So let us assume that there are total 100 villages are there. Okay. 1/5 of the villagers cultivate paddy. 1/5 means 20. 1/5 of 100 is 20. So 20 villagers cultivate what? Paddy. Clear? 1/3 of the villagers are literate. 1/3 is 33. So 33 villagers are literate. Clear? Next, 4/5 of the villagers are under 25 years. 4/5 means 80. So 80 villagers are under 25 years of age. Clear? Half of the one more thing. The first one, half of the villagers of a certain village have their own houses. So half of the villagers, that is 50 villagers, they have their own house. Clear? So half of the villagers own their own house. 1/5 of the villagers cultivate paddy. 1/3 of the villagers are literate. 4/5 of the villagers are under 25 years of age. Clear? Okay. Now let's look at the statements. All the village, certainly the question says which of the following statement is certainly correct. Which of the following statements which of the following statement is certainly correct. Okay. All the villagers who have their own house are literate. All the villagers who have their own house. Okay, there are 50 villagers who own their own house. And all the 50 villagers are literate. Is it correct? No, because there are only 33 villagers, illiterate villagers are there. But there are 50 villagers who own their own house. So, all the 50 villagers cannot be literates because there are only 33 literates. So, the first statement is incorrect. Some villagers under 25 years of age are literate. Some villagers under the 25 years of age are literate. Yes, it is possible. Because some villagers, out of the 80, there can be 33 villagers who are literate. Yes, possible. So, let's reserve that. Moving to a third one, only half of the villagers who cultivate paddy are literate. Only half of the villagers who cultivate paddy. Okay. There are total 20 villagers cultivate paddy. and half of the villagers are 10, only half of the villagers who cultivate paddy are literate. We cannot say so, definitely say so, because there are 33 villages. So how can we say that only half of the villagers who cultivate paddy, that is only 10 villages are literate? We cannot say that. All the 20 villages can be literate, because 20 is less than 33. All the 20 villages can be literate. Yes, it is possible. So we cannot definitely say that only half of the villages who cultivate paddy are literate. It's not possible. Moving to the last one. No villager under 25 years of age. No villager under the 25 years of age has his own house. Can we say so? No villagers under the 25 years. So there are only 20 villagers above the age of 25. But there are 50 villagers have their own house. So 20, 50. We cannot say that only these above 25 years age has their own house. No, there are 50 villagers who own the house, but there are only 20 villagers above the age of 25. So this is not possible. So the answer will be option B. Okay, a bit analytical question, but it's an average range. Not too difficult, not too simple. Next one. A vessel full of water weight 40 kilogram. If it is 1/3 filled, its weight becomes 20 kilogram. Okay. Okay. So with water, the vessel has a weight of 40 kilogram. If it is 1/3 filled, its weight is 20 kilogram. Okay. So weight of vessel plus water is 40. Clear? Weight of vessel plus 1/3 of water. 1/3 of water is 20. Weight of vessel, the total weight of vessel and full of water is 40 kilogram. Weight of vessel plus 1/3 of water is 20 kilogram. Clear? Okay. So we can solve this question, solve these equations. So subtracting, let it be equation number 1, let it be equation number 2. Subtracting 2 from 1, we get full of water minus 1/3 water is equal to 40 minus 20 is 20. So full of water minus 1/3 of water is 2/3 of water is equal to 20. So the total water weight of water will be 20 into 3 by 2, that is 30. So the weight of water is 30 kilogram. Weight of water is 30 kilogram. If the weight of water is 30 kilogram, then the weight of the vessel will be 10 kilogram. Clear? The question is, what is the weight of empty vessel? If the weight of full water is 30 kilogram, then the weight of the vessel is 10 kilogram. Yes, the answer is option A, 10 kilogram. Clear? Okay. Next question. See, there are around 80 questions, around 70 questions are asked from the topic number series. Clear? So understand the importance of practicing more question, because there is no universal or shortcuts or ideas. The preparation decides, or the quality of your CSAT mark. The CSAT mark depends only on the preparation. That is, how many questions you are preparing. Okay. The number of times, next question, the number of times the digit 5 will appear while writing the integers from 1 to 1000 is. The number of times the digit 5 will appear while writing the integers 1 to 1000. So from 1 to 1000, how many times the digit will appear? Okay. Okay, so till from 1 to 1000, 1000 does not contain the digit 5. So from 1 to 1000, 5 can be appeared in unit place, 10th place and 100th place. Be clear, because till 995, from 5 to till 995 the digit 5 appears. Clear? So the digit 5 can be appear in the unit place, 10th place and 100th place. Clear? Okay. So let us count the number of 5 at unit place. Clear? At a unit place. So from 1 to 100 there are numbers 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clear? So from 1 to 100, 10 times what? 5 appears at the unit place. Clear? So from 1 to 100, 10 times it appears. Clear? So from 1 to 100, 10 times, till 200, 20 times, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 and 1000. So till 1 to 1000 it appears at the 5 appears at unit place at 100 times. Clear? Okay. So at unit place it appears at 100 times. Now let's check at 10th place. 10th place. Clear? So in the range 1 to 100 it appears in 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Clear? 55. See, here also a 55 comes, here also a 55 comes, but here only we count the 5 at the unit place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clear? Here we count the digit at the 10th place. This 5 is count which is at the 10th place. Okay, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times. Similarly, into 10, that is 100 times. So 100 plus totally at unit place and at the 10th place the digit 5 appears at 200 times. Clear? So remaining at a 100th place. At a 100th place. Clear? Okay. At 100th place, from 500 to 599. From 500 to 599, it appears at a 100 times. The 5 appears at here. It is at 100th place. Here also it is at a 100th place. From 0 to 99 or 500 to 599, the 0 appears at the 100th place at the 100th place at 100 times. So in total 100 plus 100 plus 100, that is the answer is 300. Clear? So the answer is option C, 300. Clear? Okay. Next question. Okay. If x is greater than or equal to 25, if x is greater than or equal to 25 and y is less than or equal to 40, then which one of the following is always correct? Okay, they say if x is greater than or equal to 25 and y is less than or equal to 40. So x can have value from 25, 26, etc. and the value of y is 0, 1 or 1, 2 up to 40. Okay. Then which one of the following is always correct? X is greater than y. Okay. Let the value of y is 40. Let y is 40 and x is 25. Let x have the minimum value and y have the maximum value. Is x is greater than y? No, actually y is greater than x. So first statement is wrong. Okay. Y minus x is greater than 50. Y minus x. Okay. Y minus x. Let the value of y be 39 and x be 25. Because y can have values up to 40. X can have value from 25 onwards. Okay. So y minus x. What is the value of y minus x here? It is 40. But they say y minus x is greater than 50. So it cannot be, it can be greater than 50, yes, agree. But what? It can also be less than 15. So this statement is also incorrect. Next one, y minus x is less than or equal to 50. Let's check. The maximum value of is 40. The minimum value is 25. So y is equal to 40, x is equal to 25. So then y minus x is equal to 40 minus 25, that is 15. If y is equal to what? 10 and x is equal to what? 25, then y minus x is equal to 10 minus 25, that is minus 15. Clear? So y minus x is less than or equal to 50. Yes, it is equal to 15 is possible. Then we got a value y minus x minus 15. Actually it is also less than 15, though it is in the negative domain. So y minus x is less than or equal to 15. Yes, it is possible. It is possible to have a value y minus x less than or equal to 50. However, let's check the last one. X minus y. X minus y is greater than or equal to 65. Okay, let's check. Greater than or here also, let the value of x is 25. Let the value of y is 10. What is the value of x minus y? 25 minus 10, that is 15. So x minus y is greater than or equal to 65. So but it is less than 65. It is a value 15. Clear? So it is not possible. The answer is option C. Y minus x is less than or equal to 15. Clear? Okay. Next question. A printer numbers the pages of a book starting with 1 and uses 3089 digits, 3089 digits in all. How many pages does the book have? How many pages does the book have? Okay. A printer numbers the pages of a book starting with 1, first page, page number 1, and he uses 3089 digits in all. How many pages does the book have? Okay. Before working on the problem, let's first check on the solution. All the solutions, all the options are above 1000. One is 1000, 1040, 1048, 1049, 1050, which means that at more than 1000 pages are printed. More than 1000 pages are there. Clear? Okay. So more than 1000 pages. Clear? So till page 1 to 9. Page 1 to 9. How many digits are there? How many digits are there? There are 9 digits. Clear? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 digits are there. 9 digits are there. From 10 to 99. From 10 to 99. How many digits are there? There are 90 digits. Sorry. Here there are 9 pages. Also each page contains only single digit. So 9 digits. From 10 to 99 pages, total there are 90 pages. Each page contain a 2-digit number. So the number of digits will be into 2, 90 into 2, which is 180 digits. 180 digits. Clear? Okay. From page 1000 to 999, how many pages are there? There are 900 pages. Clear? There are yes, there are 900 pages. Each page contains 3 digits. So in total 900 into 3, 2700 digits. Okay. So from page 1 to 999, total digits printed are 9 plus 180 plus 2700. So 2700 plus 180 plus 9. So 9882. So total there are 2889 digits. Total there are 2889 digits. 3089 minus 2889. 0, 0, 100 digits. So remaining 100 digits are still remaining. So we have these 100 digits are printed in the remaining pages. So we have to find how many pages are remaining. Okay. From 1000 onwards, there are 4 digits. Clear? So each page contains 4 digits. Clear? So total 100 digits are printed. Sorry. So actually 100, it is 200. Clear? So total 200 digits are printed. Total 200 digits are printed, and each page contains 4 digits. Total 200 digits are printed. So 200 divided by 4, that is 50. So 50 pages are printed there. Starting from page number 1000, there are 50 pages are printed. Clear? So the question says, how many pages does the book have? So from 1000, counting from 1000 till page 50 page, there are 1049 pages. Total there are 50 pages having 4 digits. Clear? So a page contains 4 digits. Total there are 50 pages. Starting from 1000, the last page will be 1049. Clear? So total there are 1049. Total there are 1049 pages. Clear? Okay. Next question. If the numerator and denominator of a proper fraction are increased by the same positive quantity which is greater than 0, the resulting fraction is, okay, always less than the original fraction, always greater than original fraction, always equal to the original fraction, such that nothing can be claimed indefinitely. Okay, let's take 1 by 2 as an example. The value of 1 by 2 is 0.5. If both 1 is added, on numerator and denominator, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 2 by 3 is 0.6. Clear? Okay. Suppose 2 is added, 1 plus 2 divided by 2 plus 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 by 4 is 0.75. Let's take 1 plus 3 divided by 2 plus 3, 1 plus 3 is equal to 4, 2 plus 3 is 5, 4 by 5 is 0.8. So it is pretty clear that 1 by 2 is 0.5. When same number greater than 0 is added to both numerator and denominator, the final the result is greater than the first number. Clear? So let us say that the value is greater than the then the numerator and denominator of a number is added by a same number which is greater than 0, then the result is greater than the resultant fraction is greater than the original fraction. So actually in UPSC key the answer is given as always greater than the original fraction. However, let's take another example. Let's take 20 divided by 15. 20 divided by 15. The value of 20 divided by 15 is 1.33. 20 divided by 15 is 1.33. So let me add 5 on numerator and denominator. Numerator and denominator. 20 plus 5 is 25. 15 plus 5 is 20. So the answer is 1.25. So here the original fraction was 1.33. The original fraction value was 1.33. That is 20 divided by 50. When I added 5 on both numerator and denominator, the final product is 1.25, which is actually less than the original fraction. Clear? So we can say that nothing can be claimed definitely. However, UPSC answer key, it says option B is the right answer. But there is the answer might be option D, that such that nothing can be claimed definitely. Since nothing can be claimed about UPSC answer key, we cannot rely on our answer. So the UPSC says the answer is option B. However, the actual answer is option D. Okay. Since this question cannot be asked in further exams, let's forget about that. Next question. Consider two statements S1 and S2. S1 and S2 followed by a question. First statement. P and Q both are prime numbers. Okay. P plus Q is an odd integer. The question is, PQ is an odd integer. Question is PQ an odd integer? Whether PQ is an odd integer. Okay. Let's check on the first statement. The options are S1 alone is sufficient to answer, S2 alone is sufficient to answer, both S1 and S2 taken together are not sufficient to answer, both S1 and S2 are necessary to answer the question. Let's take the first statement. Both the P and Q are prime numbers. So the prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, etc. Sorry, no 9. 7, 11, 13, etc. Clear? Okay. Is PQ an odd integer? Let the value P and Q are 2, 3 and 3, 5. So let these two are the pairs. Is PQ an odd integer? So the PQ is 2 into 3 is 6, 3 into 5 into 3 is 15. So is PQ an odd integer? PQ is an odd integer here, even integer here. So we cannot say that PQ is definitely an odd integer or even integer. Okay. So S1 alone is not sufficient to answer the question. Let's check S2 alone. S2 says P plus Q is an odd integer. P plus Q is an odd integer. Okay. If P plus Q is to be an odd integer, leaving the first statement, that is prime numbers, if P plus Q is to be an odd integer, for example, 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. So 3 plus 4, sorry. Okay, yes, correct. 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. 7 is an odd number. 7 is an odd number. So if the sum of two digits or sum of two numbers is to be an odd number, then one of the number must be odd and the other is even. For example, if 3 plus 3 is added, it is an even number. So if both numbers are odd number, then the sum will be even. If both numbers are even, then also the number is even. Okay, so if the sum of two numbers is to be an odd one, then one of the two digits must be an odd and other is even. So one is odd, other is even. Clear? Okay. Then, so if P plus Q is to be odd one, if odd number, then either P is either number then one is to be odd and other is to be even. Okay, so if P plus Q is to be an odd number, if P plus Q is to be an odd number, then one is to be one number is to be odd and other is to be even. Clear? Okay. Now then, see, now say it is say that P plus Q is an odd integer. So if P plus Q is an odd integer, then either P or Q is, suppose P is odd and Q is even. Is PQ is an odd integer. What if an odd integer and an even integer is multiplied? 3 plus 4 is 12. Okay, so P plus Q is an odd integer. The statement says P plus Q is an odd integer. So either then P is if P is an odd number, then Q must be an even number. If P is an even number, then Q must be an odd number. So one number is odd, other is even. Okay. When an odd number and even number is multiplied, the product will be even. Clear? So is PQ an odd integer? No. PQ is not an odd integer. It is an even integer. Clear? So P plus Q is an odd integer. If P plus Q is an odd integer, then we can answer the question. Is PQ an odd integer? No. PQ is not an odd integer. It is an even integer. This question is answered purely from the second statement. Clear? So from the statement 2 alone, we got the answer. So S2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Clear? Okay. The number 136 is added to 5B7 and the sum obtained is 7A3, where A and B are integers. It is given that 7A3 is exactly divisible by 3. The only possible value of B is. Okay. So the number 136 is added with 5B7 and the sum is 7A3. Clear? Okay. 136 is added to 5B7 and the sum is 7A3. And they say 7A3 is exactly divisible by 3. In the last class we discussed, if a number is to be divisible by 3, then the sum of its digit must also be divisible by 3. Okay. So in this case, if 7A3 is divisible by 3, then 7 plus A plus 3 must also divisible by 3. Hence the value of A can be 7 plus 3 is 10. So A can have the value of 2, 5, 8. 7 plus 2 plus 3 is 12. 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. If A is 5, then the sum is 15, which is divisible by 3. If A is 8, then the sum is 18, which is also divisible by 3. So A can have the value of what? 2 or 5 or 8. Clear? Okay. If 3 is added to B, if 3 is added with B and the result is 2 or 5 or 8. Clear? With the remainder or without remainder. Okay. If 8 is to be obtained, then it can be 5. Okay. If it can be 5. If 5 is to be obtained, then it can be 2. But sorry, here also a remainder is here. 7 plus 3 is 13, remainder 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4. If 8 is to get here, then 4 will come here. 5 for 5, then 1 will come here. For 2, 3 plus 1 is 4, 8 will come here. So the value of B can be 8 or 1 or 4. Okay. So 3 plus 4 plus 1 is 8. 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. 3 plus 1, 4 plus 8, 12. 2 plus remainder 1. Okay. At the 100th place, it's a 5 plus 1, but the answer is 7. Which means that a remainder 1 is added here. Clear? Okay. So if I add 3 plus 1 plus 4, it is 8. So no remainder left here. So 4 cannot be an option. Okay. Then 3 plus 1 plus 1, 5, but no remainder is here. So 5 is not possible. So 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 8, 12, yes, 2 is possible with a remainder 1 and the remainder is added here. So remainder 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 5 is 7. So what will be the addition? The number 136 plus 587 is equal to 3, remainder 1, 3 plus 1, 4 plus 8, 12, 2, 7, 723. So 783 is 723. So the value of A is 2. Value of A is 2. 5B 7. That is 587. The value of B is 8. So the answer is option D, 8. Clear? Next question. Suppose you have sufficient amount of rupee currency in 3 denominations, rupee 1, rupee 10 and rupees 50. 1, 10 and 50. In how many different ways can you pay a bill of 107? So 100, 10, 50, 10 and rupee 1. Okay. So there are many possible ways that we can pay the bill 107 rupees. Okay. Suppose if now 50 rupees is used. Suppose if now 50 rupees is used and we have enough currency in our hand and 110 rupee is used. 110 rupees 10 and the remaining 97 1 rupees are used. Okay, this is a possibility. Suppose 2 10 rupees are used and the remaining 1 rupees are used. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different ways is possible. If 10 rupees are used, then 7 1 rupee notes are used. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different ways are possible when no 50 rupees used. Clear? Also, note 10 rupee can also be used by using 107 1 rupees. So 10 plus 1 11 possibilities are there when the now 50 rupees is used. Suppose 150 rupees used, then the possibilities are 5 10 rupees can be used and 7 1 rupee can be used, 4 10 rupees can be used and the remaining 1 rupee can be used, 3 2 1 0. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 possible additional possibilities are there. Clear? Also we can use 250 rupees and not 10 rupees and 7 1 rupees. 2 into 50 100, 100 plus 7 is 107. So additional one possibility. So 10 plus 6, 16, 16 plus 1, 17, 17 plus 1, 18. So total there are 18 possibilities in which we can pay the bill 107 rupees. Clear? Next question. Question says, how many triplets x, y, z satisfy the equation x plus y plus z is equal to 3, where x, y, z are natural numbers? Okay. Okay. So we have to make x plus y plus z is equal to 6. So there are many possibility in which possible values of x, y, z, and they say x, y, z are natural numbers. That means natural numbers means 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Clear? So the values of x, y, z 1, 2, 3, etc. Clear? Okay. So what are the possible values of x, y, z? Let's check. Suppose if all numbers are same, that is x is equal to y is equal to z is equal to 2. So this is a one possibility. If all the numbers are same, then there is a one possibility. One triplet is possible. Then two numbers are same. Then the value of x, y, z can be, so for example, 1, 1, 4, 4, 1, 1, 1, 4, 1. So how many possibilities are there? 3 possibilities are there when two numbers are same. Let's check what if all the numbers are different, all the digits are different. Okay, let's check. If all the numbers are different, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 is possible. Clear? So 2, 2 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6 different ways are possible. So 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 1, 10. So total 10 possibilities are there. In 10 possible triplets satisfy the equation x plus y plus z. So the answer is D. So there are 6 possible ways, there are 3 possible ways, there are 1 possible way. Why we doesn't take 0 in this case is because the question is specifically asked about natural numbers. So natural numbers are ranging from 1 to infinity. So that's why we doesn't take the value, the number 0 here. Clear? Okay. Moving to next question. In the sequence, okay, in the sequence 1, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, 4, 3, 5, how many such 5s are there which are not immediately preceded by 3 but are immediately followed by 3? So which means 5 which are not immediately preceded by 3 but are okay, so they are talking about how many such 5s are there which are not immediately preceded by 3 but are immediately followed by 3. So let's check first how many 5s are there. So first 5, second 5, third 5. Clear? Okay. How many such 5s are there which are not immediately preceded by 3 but are immediately followed by 7? Okay. Is this 5 is immediately followed by 7? No. So it is cut. This 5 is immediately followed by 7, but is it immediately preceded by 3? Yes. So they are talking about not immediately preceded by 3. So it is preceded by 3 and it is cancelled. Here, why it is cancelled? It is not followed by 7. Next, this is 5. It is immediately followed by 7, but it is not immediately preceded by 3. It is preceded by 1. So this is the case and only 1, 5 follow the specific condition. Clear? Okay. I think this is the last question. Okay. So an 8-digit number 4252746b leaves remainder 0 when divided by 3. How many values of b are possible? So 4252746b leaves a remainder is 0 when divided by 3. So divisibility rule of 3 is sum of digits is a multiple of 3. Clear? Okay. So let's add the digits. 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 5, 11, 11 plus 2, 13, 13 plus 7, 20, 20 plus 4, 24, 24 plus 6 is 30. So 30 plus b. If it number leaves a remainder 0 when divided by 3, which means it is perfectly divisible by 3. So 30 plus b. So sum of these digits will be a multiple of 3. So what are the values b have? If the value of b is 0, then 30 plus 0 is 30, which is a multiple of 3. If the value of b is 3, then 30 plus 3 is 33. 33 is a multiple of 3. If it is 6, 30 plus 6 is 36, which is a multiple of 3. 9, 30 plus 9 is 39, which is a multiple of 3. So the number of possible values that b can have is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is option C4. Okay. So that's the end of, see, there are around 68 questions I have asked in the topic number series or number system. So there are certain majority, around 80% of the questions are a bit simple or moderate range that anyone can solve. A 20% is a bit confusing or it takes much more time to solve. Okay, so in case of number series, what we have to do is practice more questions, whether it is asked in the previous year paper or prelims test series. So practicing more questions will make you perfect. Okay, so that's the end of today's session. So in the next session, we will continue the program with the topic average. So till then, thank you.
Amrita IAS Academy.